is the Speak Your Peace podcast, a podcast for the people where we believe by speaking your truth, you can help others find their peace. I am your host, Kileem.slayton, and I want to thank you for listening in. Be sure to find us on Instagram at _ Speak Your Peace. Let's go. We got a special guest in today, a local Charlotte battle rapper by the name of
Zay.
Zay, me and you go back. You go back since maybe 2011. 2011. This is before you even started battle rapping. You recently got your first URL call up in New York. But a lot of people know, you now that you're battle rapping and that you're traveling. You were in Toronto, Canada not too long ago, New York several times. But a lot of people don't know your start as well as your backstory. They see you now, but again, I know you on a more in-depth level.
Right.
So let's touch a little bit about that here on the Speak Your Peace podcast. When we first met in 2011, you were going to JCSU. Shout out to Smith.
John C. Smith.
Not only that, you are Charlotte-based, Charlotte home. This your home.
Yeah. Born and raised.
Now I listened to some of your battles, and you talk a lot about death or loss of loved ones
Right.
in your battles. And I feel like I've heard different names. I mean, how many people would you say you've lost over the last 3 years?
Honestly, I've got to the point where I lost count. If I can honestly be, real, as far as people that was actually close to me in my life, I can't count on my hands and toes. My fingers and toes. I just can't. That's a way to express, but also me losing somebody close. There's a million other people in this world who've lost other people close, and me telling my story, somebody can relate to that. It's easier to relate to real life situations and real life things that have happened, rather than me saying I'm going to shoot you with this gun that's not even real. You feel me? Like, a lot of battle rap is fictional.
Would you say battle rap is therapy?
In a way. It's
writing?
I think the writing part is more of a release than the actual battle. The battle is some highs and lows with your emotions, depending on the crowd reaction, to who you're battling, what they're doing. So you're really not in that thought process of relieving and releasing. But the writing process, you're to yourself. And you can, when you're writing that bar down and you're writing those words down, you can release that pain and that hurt that you may not have released. So that's the best part about it.
I think, what I see in you that I don't see in a lot of the battle rappers is you have a part where you say, when you're a battle rapper, you say, tell me what you've been through, and then you spit about, needing permission to go to prom. Is that true?
Yeah. When I was like 16, 17, I was, how can I put it? I was living a double life. Okay. In high school, even in college. The person that you may see in school was not the person you tell out of school. Meaning, I was all right kid, all right dude at school, cool dude. And then out of school, I turned into a whole nother person. I got locked up for possession of a weapon, some other charges. I got expelled from school, all this stuff. And so I was on probation, too, for like a year while I was still in high school. So because of my charges and stuff like that, they wouldn't allow me to go to prom without getting permission from, like, Charlotte Mecklenburg, as well as my probation officer and some other things, as well as the school had to sign off on it, because I was considered a threat to the school, and to my peers at the time. So it was just one of those things, like, shit, the stuff that you want to do.
Now, from what I can remember, when we first met, you always had lyrical ability to put words together and rap and things like that. And did you always know that you had that talent or that gift?
Honestly, it really came to me in high school. Like, I've always been a good writer, even like in writing essays and stuff like that in school. And honestly, I used to hear a lot of other people rap, like my peers and stuff, in high school and things like that. And I was like, man, I can be better than that. You feel me? Like, I always knew that in the back of my mind. Like, if I can get over my shyness, that I would be better than all these dudes.
And what prompted you, to not go that route and to apply at GCSU and go to college?
When I was younger, I always told myself I didn't want to be no rapper.
Okay.
Even from an early age, 5, 6, as young as I can remember rap, I just told myself, like, I ain't trying to be another rapper. I'm not trying to fit that stigma. Black guy, rapper. Black guy, athlete. I wasn't trying to do that. And so just like, I'd rather go to college, pursue something else, and see where that takes me, rather than quote unquote the entertainment business.
And how many years of college did you complete over at Smith?
Not enough. Not enough. Now
I remember you ending up dropping out of college.
Right.
What was what was that feeling like? You knew you still had the gift to write, but dropping out of college. What was that like? Because you were still on campus for a little bit.
Part of me was like, because of the point where I was in life, part of me didn't care. I had a lot of other stuff going on for me, and stuff. So school became secondary, then it became third, and then it was just no longer an option. And I just got to a point where I was like, forget all this. I really don't need school. I'm no longer interested. It is what it is at this point. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. But sometimes that's just how life works.
Now, so you drop out of school. Are you even thinking about battle rapping at this time? Are you even? What's on your mind?
It's crazy
because it's been around. It was in Charlotte.
Around 2013, my sophomore year, like this summer, going into junior year, first time I saw a rap battle. Like I saw like a clip of it on Twitter, Hitman Holla versus John the Don. Then I saw Loaded Lux versus Calico, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like I could do that. You feel me? Like I've never seen, everything that I thought of a rap battle. You see, at school, dudes beating on the table, going back and forth, blah, 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 people getting hyped, but I never seen it in that type of format. So I started writing.
Okay.
Like, wrote a verse here, but battle rap wasn't common down south. So me finding a league or battle rap actually being a career or a real option for me didn't really come into fruition until 2017. So for 4 years, battle rap really wasn't even, it was nothing. You feel me? Like, it was just me writing to no avail. No opponent, no next battle, no first battle, no nothing. It was just me writing. So my focus wasn't battle rap. I was really working for the NBA at the time. I stopped in like 2014, late that year. And so really that was my only focus, really, of life. I felt like everything else was secondary just because what I was doing, the financial situation that I was in, I was like...
What do you mean financial situation?
I looked at people I was going to school with, and they sitting up there, paying $20,000, for school, and I'm making $20,000 in tips over a course of a year. More than that, and it's just like, what am I doing here? So my only focus was the NBA. My only focus was the money that I could obtain. I really stopped having goals as far as, because I thought that was going to be my career path.
Working for the NBA. And what were you doing when you were working for the NBA?
I was a ball boy at the time, and with connections and stuff, the plan was for me to move up within the organization. stuff like that.
So you no longer, 2014, you're no longer working for the Charlotte Hornets or Bobcats. And 2017, you said, that's when you actually really got into battle rap.
Right.
What got you over that hump to get ready? When was your first battle?
First battle was September 24th, 2017.
What got you over the hump and gave you that confidence to go and do your first battle after all this time?
Two things happened.
Okay.
One, it was I held a NBA Finals party. You was there. Some friends of mine, Kurt, Shane, Stu, and after the finals, it was Game 7. After that, I literally just started rapping in the living room, and I was able to impress you guys, and that gave me the confidence. And Shane, his cousin, Killer Tom, he was a battle rapper. And I knew that. I was been telling Shane like I wanted to battle, but nobody ever took it serious for good reasons. I used to clown around a lot, so it wasn't no disrespect. But Stu, I think it was CIAA that same year, and Killer Time came into town, and we was going to, I think, Nick's apartment back, and I saw Killer Time, and I was like, yo, nigga, I can rap. And Stu was like, yeah, he can rap. And then Stu was like, give him something. And I spit this verse, and he was impressed. And he was like, I'm all right, I'm going to get you set up for a battle. And then I got set up, and, rest is history.
How did your first battle go?
30. A body. It was a body.
So you 3 rounds.
3 rounds. It was a
Who
body.
Who did you battle?
Michael DiCaprio. Never forget it. And
were you nervous?
I didn't feel nerves going into the battle, but actually when I started rapping, my chest tightened up, felt short on breath. Like it was just a weird like feeling. Because honestly, I wasn't that person that grew up rapping in front of people. So my mom there, like the first time she ever heard me rap was that day. So I'm rapping in front of people for the first time. They don't know what to expect, and I don't know what type of reactions and stuff to expect from them. So it was just, it was some butterflies and stuff there. But,
How did you feel after the battle?
After all the love and stuff, in the course of the battle, I'm shaking the room, everything, just getting crazy reaction. It's just like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. All the love and stuff that I got from after the battle, from other battlers that was there, I was like, all right, I might be on to something here.
Now, I'm somebody who, I lost my little brother last year.
Right.
And of course, mad, I was mad, I was hurt, I was upset, I was angry. And even at that point, I questioned life, I questioned God. And I know, you had also another line in your song where you was like, why, or in your rap, why, God, why'd you have to take my aunt from me? I mean, I know you should never question God, but hey, I got to question God. Did you feel like you questioned God a lot?
At one point in my life, I definitely did, because I was very close, spiritually and religiously. But it's like when people get in bad situations, health-wise, or somebody's gotten shot or something like that, right? And the first thing they do, they tell you to pray. They tell you to pray. So, it's one thing for it to be a 1 or 2 time incident, but when this seems like it's happening almost every month, and all people do is tell you to pray, and then you pray, and then it's like your prayers ain't being answered, you start to question, why am I praying? I'm praying to save this person. I'm praying for them to make it through. I'm praying for them to pull through from this gunshot or car accident or whatever, like, and then they don't. It's like, what am I praying for? So it's like, we taught not to question God, but, Lord, I got a question. Like why is this happening? So it's also like a double entendre. So it just.
What would you say what was your hardest battle or your most difficult battle during battle rap? Like your closest one?
Actually, my most recent one.
Who did you battle?
In October, I battled King Shadow from Georgia.
Okay.
Down there in South Carolina. I think it was, I don't even know where it was. South Carolina. I think Greenville. No, it wasn't. I don't know. Spartanburg. Damn, didn't even know. It was my most difficult battle because most of my battles that I've gone into, it might be a toss-up sometimes. Some people be like, all right, Zay gonna lose, or it's gonna be close. This battle, a lot of people said I was gonna get my ass kicked, and that type of stuff motivates me. I'm like, oh, okay. And so he is really good. He at the time of battling him, he was my best opponent. As far as like at the point that I battled people, at that point in his career, he was the best person that I battled. And so we were different. His pen is strong. He's different type of battler rather than what I was used to battling. So it was very difficult, but it allowed me to be more creative, think outside the box and stuff like that. But that was definitely my toughest opponent. But I feel like I prevailed.
Okay, I've also seen one just so recently. Actually, not too long ago, you had a chance to battle in front of a legend.
Oh yeah,
Loaded Lux.
Yeah.
Again, what was that? What was that one line that you started it with? Where did that come from? Because that was smooth. So give me the backstory to that line you opened your battle with, and then what's the line?
It's crazy because that line wasn't even originally for that event.
Okay.
That was, how can I put it? That was actually meant for the King of the Dot battle in Toronto.
Gotcha.
And I'm the type of person where I always got bars. Like I could be right here, right now, and if I go to my phone, I'm probably putting a bar in. And so, pretty much, I already had that bar. And Loaded Lux, if you actually, I get compared a lot to Hitman Holla. Because that's the first battler I've ever seen. That's what inspired me. The second battler I've ever seen was Loaded Lux. And so his pen and the way that he writes. So I kind of write drawn out and in depth, very similar to him. And so his greatest line, or one of his top few lines, was, told them niggas not to book y'all niggas rooms. I told them Harlem Hospital was giving beds out. And so
So you said I told him not to get y'all niggas rooms. Harlem Hospital was giving beds out.
That's what he said, and it shook the building battling. So, I've watched that battle so many times, and it was just like Harlem Hospital giving beds out. That shit is fire.
Yeah, you don't need no room. The hospital giving beds out. Gotcha.
I feel like it's something more to it. You feel me? Like a hospital bed. For everything, and then that goes into what I've seen in life. I know niggas who've got shot and went straight to the morgue. And I know niggas who got shot and went to the hospital. If you go to the hospital, it's because you have a chance of living. If you go to that morgue, it's because there is no chance. I'm sending your ass to the morgue. So that's why
and what was the line that you said?
I said Loaded Lux. You said you didn't even book these niggas rooms. You told them Harlem Hospital was giving beds out. That was fired in, but I couldn't take it. Because down south, we give out steel tables. Hospital beds is for the ones that might make it. Shook the building. I feel, honestly, I actually won the prize. I won that event. It was a showcase. I feel like that line is what put me over the top.
I definitely think so.
And it's actually... They actually posted it, he actually posted it on his YouTube page. And a lot of people, I'm just going to look at the comments and stuff just to see what people say. And people was like, that's the craziest hospital bed flip I've ever heard in my life. Like, that was crazy. Who is that? And I'm on the YouTube comments like, yo, you go follow me on Instagram, Zaytower15. Like, that was me and stuff. So it was pretty dope. And that bar really took me to the next level. So
I mean, that bar is fire. That
Coming
bar was
soon.
definitely fire.
Might be coming back soon.
Now, again, so you're doing well, and then you get your first international battle in Toronto, Canada.
Yeah.
What was that? What did it feel like? What was it like?
To be,
How did your mom feel?
she couldn't, like, she is very supportive.
Because what people don't know is, like, when you first start battle rapping, you're not making money at first.
You're not.
If anything, you spending money for travel and stuff like that.
I actually equate battle rap to sports, and through the different levels of sports. You know, you go from middle school, you start playing AAU ball, and when you start off battle rap, it's kind of like AAU ball. You know, you might be traveling, spending money,
Gotcha.
to get these looks, to get these scouts to look at you. Then a league will come. That's like the college route. They come take care of you, try to take you to the next level, but you're not really making no money. College athletes are not allowed to make money. It's not that battle rappers aren't allowed to make money, but at that level, you ain't making no money. And then you go to the next level, you know. So it's sacrifice, definitely sacrifice. And for me to be the first person from Charlotte as a battle rapper to make it to international, make it out the country to battle, it is very, very hard to even get a battle out of state. You got to be good to get battles out of state. So to get a battle out the country said even more about what they thought about me. So it was just like, it was remarkable. My mother was very excited, and I went up there and made a very, very strong impression. And you know, it's future things being set up now, but honestly, that has been the biggest highlight of my career.
What would you say is the lowest?
I battled in New York last year at the Invitational. It was actually in front of the URL staff, scouting staff. I didn't do as good as I could have. A lot of them were impressed. A lot of the other battle rappers were impressed. They actually did like a vote in the group chat that I was in with all these battlers that was on the card, and they asked who deserved to get that URL call. And I had the most people say me. But walking out of there, I didn't have that feeling that everybody else had, because I know what I'm capable of. People that was with me it wasn't like full out disappointment as if I had lost or got my ass kicked, but it was a disappointment that's like, yo, we know what you can do, and you didn't do what we know what you can do. And so I felt like that was the lowest. When you have a potential, when you have a talent, and you don't fulfill it, you don't reach your potential, you let people down. So that letdown, I say, was the lowest point for me.
You know, so that letdown is low, but you go back to the drawing board, you start working.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you get this URL call. Why is the URL call so important?
It's
like what is so special about it?
It's a stamp. URL is the biggest platform in America, so it's big time.
Where is it at?
It's all over. It's based out of New York.
Okay.
But they travel all over. Events all over. Talent from all over. Like, they take the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
And to get that call means they looking at you as potentially one of the best of the best. They want to work with you. And it's something that not a lot of people obtain. As far as, yes, there's a lot of battle rappers who have been on URL, but in the scheme of battle rap, if you take all the battle rappers in just America, maybe 10% of them make it there. So to get that, and also to come where I'm from, Charlotte isn't like New York. In New York, they got eyes on them all the time. You could have 5 battles and be on URL just because of where you are. Down south, it's harder to get that look. It's hard to get that look in Charlotte, especially when ain't nobody looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just big time. It's like, damn, they notice in Charlotte now, or I'm making them notice. So
now, you got amazing wordplay. A lot of it comes through your experience. Where do you get some of your material on your opponents? Like, if I want to make a battle rap against you, where do I got to find all the material at? Where you get your material from? Like,
I say people leave themselves as an open book.
Okay.
I'm a private person.
Gotcha.
Right? So dudes tend to post their lives on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Battle rappers.
Or people in general.
People in general. So if I'm battling you and you leave your social media open, my social media is private. You leave your social media open, I can find out your mama name, your girlfriend name, your baby mama name, your son's name. I can find out your real name because somebody somewhere in a comment under a picture in 2015 said your real name. You left that open. And that little space, it's almost you give somebody an inch, make a mile. Mm-hmm. That's literally me. You give me an inch, I'll make a mile out of it.
Like when Eminem found out old boy name was Clarence.
Yeah, and that it's just wild. Like you leave an inch, somebody will take it and run, and so sometimes that's what I do. I don't have to always do that. I just also do it to throw my opponent off because sometimes they be like, "Damn, how that person know that? How they know this? How they know that?" It's like, yeah, nigga, I know everything. That's how I go.
What's been the hardest part about this battle rap journey?
Honestly, for me, nothing. Because I know what I'm using battle rap for. I'm not trying to be the greatest battle rapper of all time, and then that's it.
What are you trying to do?
Model, act, being an author, stuff like that. Like, use my platform for public speaking. Battle rap for me is a stepping stone. Battle rap for most people is their plateau. That's the difference. So battle rap is I've accomplished everything already that I wanted to do in battle rap. Everything else now is icing on the cake. So there is no lows when you already know this is just a step. This is not my end goal. This is not my end game. So this is a step. Why would I get hung up on one step when I know that my goal is over here? And so it's already offered me the exposure. It's offered me everything that I thought that it would offer me and more. So there's really nothing that's been like a... And plus, I'm not like these other battle rappers who that's all they got. Battle rap isn't all that I have. So...
How do you make money from battle rap?
Got to be good. Got to be good. Yeah, honestly.
And it's more than just wordplay, of course.
It's the whole package. It also depends on who's booking you. Some leagues will pay everybody, but most leagues don't. Mm-hmm. Most leagues only going to pay you if they feel like you're worth it. And, leagues are paying me because they feel like I'm worth it.
How much can you make from a battle?
I know battle rappers who have made $50,000 off of one battle. $20,000, $25,000. Hitman Holla, $40,000.
Hey.
I'm hearing prices for Sue Surf, Low Deluxe next. They actually battling each other this year. $70,000. It just depends on who you are.
For what? 10, 12, 13, 14? How much minutes of work?
Yeah. Like, it's very beneficial. It's very beneficial to have that name and that brand that can bring you that type of revenue, that type of money.
Now, how long does it take you? Because usually battle raps go from 3 rounds. You have round 1, round 2, round 3. How long does it take you to come up with content?
Well, since I'm constantly putting stuff together, just random stuff, you never know when you might need something. Honestly, it may take me 2-3 days to write 3 rounds and memorize them. Like, my homeboy is like, Zays, he write fast. He remember his stuff. He be done already. Most battle rappers take them 3 weeks to a month to be done. Me, I'm gonna do that in 3 days and memorize.
And see, that's what I'm I'm a big fan about when I say, when you're living in your gift and you doing what you were born to do, you see stuff different, you do stuff differently, everything like that. Like I could write 3 rounds, but it would take me not only a long time, but also the amount of work I would have to put in.
Right.
The amount of effort I would have to put in to just get there. Like, but when that's your gift, it's like it just comes, and that's I mean, is amazing. It's talent. Is again, I mean, that's that's amazing. When is your next upcoming battle?
January 25th, New York City, URL, Proof of Grounds, Queens, New York, versus Black Rolak from New Jersey. They actually got me like almost at the bottom of the card, like second to last. Mm-hmm.
So I got like two more questions for you. So number one, mm-hmm. What would you say to any new battle rapper who feels like they have the lyrical ability to do battle rap and do it on a high level and is going to pursue that? What would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
Do it, but be yourself. Do it, but be yourself. Don't try to be like nobody else. One thing that a lot of people like about me and why I've moved the way that I've moved in a short amount of time, I'm myself. Mm-hmm. I'm original. I don't sound like nobody. I don't look like nobody. I don't do everything like somebody else. A lot of battle rappers tend to go with trends, and they get hung up. Because you're following somebody else's success who did it. This is in basketball. If Jordan does a certain move, you can't just go do that same move and think it's going to work for you. This is not basketball in that sense. As far as other things, you can compare it to basketball. But you got to be your own player. You got to be your own self. So take a chance on yourself, but don't be like everything that you see. Be you. That's going to translate farther.
And my last question is: do you think you could spit something for us before you go? It's okay if it's old. I don't want no new content. I know you got a battle coming up.
Oh God!
Come on. I know you had a round that you remember. I don't want nothing new. I want to save that for January 25th. Or
cash rule everything around me. Cream, drugs ran everything around me. Dream, we was trying to get off white like it's past Labor Day. And we wasn't caring neither. My mama wasn't worried that rent was paid. She was mad that birds was on the stove, but the chicken was still in the freezer. Nigga, tell me what you been through. Tell me. Down south, a nigga can still be hung over the color of his skin from branches planted by ancestors. Do you understand how that can be? For a nigga to lose his life? All while hanging from his family tree. Nigga, tell me what you been through. I mean, up north, at least y'all can see y'all ops coming. Down south, we don't know the ops there until they shooting. It don't matter what you bang. If you lost your soul to the streets, you made blood contributions.
Again, you want to give a shout out to your social media as well as your next battle date?
Next battle date, January 25th. That's a Saturday. New York City, Queens, New York. The Barn in Queens. URL.
And if anybody want to follow you, they can follow you where?
You can follow me on everything: Snapchat, Instagram. What else?
What's your
Twitter? Zaytoven15. ZATOVEN 15. No damn other marks in that shit. ZATOVEN 15.
All right. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. Shout out to, again, thank you for listening to the Speak Your Peace podcast. This is your host, Kileem.slayton. You can reach me on IG at KILEEM.SLAYTON. And we out.
On game.